Well, here we are. It's Saturday, June 10th, 2023. I'm Larissa. This is my video diary. And it's been a few days. I've had some stuff going on, and I haven't even been able to really go to work or anything either. Just because I got shit going on. I got shit going on that needs to be taken care of. So, here we are. So, I got this ballot, right, in the mail for this local issue. Very, very local. They're going to close our fire station, right? It's super irritating. The whole thing really, really irritates me. They're going to close it. They're going to close it because nobody wants to pay extra money, right? They're saying we've got to pay an extra $1,500 a month. If you have a nice house, right? If you have a nice house, you have to pay $1,500 a month. I mean, it's really ridiculous to keep it open. That's what we're voting on. Nobody's going to vote for that. But when we first moved here, I saw that there was an issue. I did. I even called down to the fire station and said, "Hey, want to do a fundraiser?" And I offered my artwork for a fundraiser. They couldn't be bothered to call me back, right? And then they bring in this CAL FIRE group and make people feel like, oh, I'm a leader. When I went to the meeting and I heard all the fucking buzzwords, oh, be a leader, be a leader. I'm like, oh, this is fucking left-wing bullshit. That's all this is. None of my neighbors wanted to be bothered talking to me, right? And for, counter-organizing or whatever, Firewise, that's what it's called. And then Kathy down the street here, she's like, oh, we're going to do Firewise. We're going to be a Firewise neighborhood. I'm like, do you understand what that whole program is? You have to have so many hours of volunteer work for every person that lives in your house booked per month or per week or whatever it was. She's like, oh. I said, it's a way for them to keep tabs on how many people are back here. She's like, oh. I'm like, you guys are dumb as fuck. So it was just, it just, I tried telling these people back here. I tried telling them, but they're, oh, no. And then they didn't give a shit when people were harassing me. And so now there's this. And I'm like, oh, well, Scotts Valley will take good care of us, blah, blah, blah. Sure they will. And you know that this is all connected to all the other stuff, right? So for the past 3 years, since the beginning of COVID, since the beginning of the COVID pandemic, or the beginning of the lockdown, they started this thing where the county was coming out, and at the very end of where the city water is piped up here, they were testing for pressure, because they're saying, oh, the pressure's bad down here, and there's too much chlorine in the water, and blah, 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 and all this stuff. I'm like, oh, this doesn't sound right. Whatever. What they want to do is meter the wells back here, and this is going to be the first step, right? First they're going to say, oh, well, now you're on Scotts Valley Fire, so you need to pay into this tax base, and you're unincorporated, so now your tax base needs to come into this, and blah, blah. It's a reappropriation of money, and this is the first step to incorporation, right? They're going to incorporate this entire area into Scotts Valley. That's what this is going to be. And then they're going to come back in here, and they're going to try to take our fucking wells. These people back here didn't want to be bothered listening to me because bitch down the street, Mark's wife, oh, Larissa, I'm just too busy to take care of this right now. I'm like, I'm not asking you to take care of anything, bitch. I was the one who was looking to organize. She's like, I have sons, and oh my God, I'm like, really? She's like, well, powwow on it. I said, oh, really? Are you Native American? These women back here are awful. All these people back here are idiots. They're all idiots. And now, they sent out this ballot like this is something for us to vote on. Like, I don't even really want to vote because it really doesn't fucking matter, right? Like, when it gets voted down, and our fire station gets closed, everybody's insurance is going to go up, probably about $1,500, right? right? That's what's going to happen. Everybody's insurance is going to go up $1,500. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen the other. I don't even want to vote. These people back here are morons, being placated with a piece of paper and all their signs. Vote no, unfair. People are dumb, really dumb, right? Totally dumb. And I have all these people. I have the prayer Stasi after me. I want to pray for you, pray for you, pray. I'm like, shut the fuck up. I formally renounce all religions. I renounce all of you. I renounce all religions. Formally renounce. I don't want anything to do with any of you. You're all nothing but a bunch of hypocritical, self-serving, obnoxious, meddling, codependent annoyances. Right? You are. All you people making this big show of prayer. Oh, I'm going to pray in public. That is nothing but self-serving bullshit. It really, really is. Right? It's an arrogance. It's an arrogance. You're so arrogant as to think your demonstration, your overly pious demonstration, public demonstration, is going to sway anybody, let alone God. Right? You're arrogant. You're arrogant, and I don't want your prayers. I'm not part of your life. I don't want to be part of your life. Stay the fuck out of mine. Right? I've had enough. I've had enough of y'all meddling in my life. Right? Biggest mistake I ever made in my life was to do Curcio. Biggest mistake. Biggest mistake. Biggest mistake. Yeah, so I formally renounce all religious groups. All of you. Stay away from me and my family. Stay away from me and my family. And there's a Filipino group that have been harassing me. They're anti-choice. And, if we pray for her enough, right? No, I will never, ever, ever, ever be anti-choice. I will not ever be anti-choice. When I was a child and I didn't have an understanding of the world, I was anti-choice. But now I'm an adult and I have an understanding. And you're never going to take that away unless you give me a closed head injury. And then, if you give me a closed head injury, you're a criminal. Right? And I can't, with a closed head injury, I can't make any informed decisions on my own anyway. Right? But they go around, and they're super hypocritical. There's a woman from Filipino Curcio who took advantage of my mother-in-law when we lived in Oakland. And, my mother-in-law is an addict, and this woman knew that. And we tried so hard. We did. My husband and I tried so hard to get my mother-in-law help. And part of the reason we couldn't get her help is because she had this personal assistant. This woman went by the name Doris. Her name wasn't Doris. It was Dolores Watt. And she met her at a hotel. So my mother-in-law refused to move with us from the North Bay to the East Bay when we moved to the East Bay. And when she finally did, when she got evicted and everything and had no other choice, and then she ended up in a hotel for a while. Well, there was a woman who drove for the hotel, right? A shuttle. And this woman met my mother-in-law, right? And became fast friends, right? So she saw money opportunity, right? And my mother-in-law was like, "Oh, look at this! I have freedom." And then Larissa and Omar aren't in my business. Well, we weren't in her business anyway. We just didn't want her to be spending all of her money on garbage at Tuesday Morning or Home Shopping Network, right? Because that's what she had, that's what she does. And that's what she did. She bought all kinds of shit she was buying shoes and clothes for Doris and her family and who the hell knows what else. And it was awful, absolutely awful. And I told this woman over and over again, you need to quit. You need to quit. We need you to quit. She's like, no, I want you to pay me. I'm like, no, we're not going to pay you. We don't want you to work for her. You're not helping. But, Filipino, meddling, oh, you must take care of the elders. Well, yeah, exactly. We were trying to, but you were enabling. You were a codependent, enabling annoyance, and you made things worse. And that's the way the Crisio community is, and that's the way the Filipino religious community is, and all of the other ones. So I don't want anything to do with any of you. Nothing. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. Okay? Stay away from me and my family. So, in the news. Shit in the news. All this bullshit with Donald Trump. I don't fucking care. He belongs in prison. And go ahead, whine all you want. Did you see all those fucking files he had? Oh my god. Did you see all those files he had that he was keeping? Come on. And I think he should save himself, save the bunk in his room for Joe Biden. Because I think that asshole belongs there with him. Y'all are disgusting. You're all gross. All of you. You're all nasty. And none of you speak for me. None of you. I'm pro-choice. I will always be pro-choice. And no amount of your obnoxious, arrogant, praying in the street bullshit is going to change that. None of it's ever going to make me want to come back and be part of your group. None of it's ever going to make me trust any religious figure ever again. And that's not to say that I don't believe in God, right? That's not to say that I don't have my own religious convictions. I just don't want anything to do with any of your groups. None of you. So I got my book. It finally showed up, the book. So it's exciting. So I said I would read. Allergies have been so bad. Oh my god. I said I would read a couple of the poems. So I will. This is Dreamscape number 8. Dreamscape number 8. But we grew up together. Why do you bind me? I know your sister. I tended your mother on her deathbed. Why now? Is our new faith such a threat to you? Does it change the ribbons I used to wear in my hair when we were children on the tundra? You saw them flash against the snow when my hat came loose that time. Now that has no meaning. As you bind our arms and legs and toss the torch on a pile of dry dung. Dreamscape number 9. I smell the others around me before I feel the flames myself. My brain boils as our bodies are charred and turned to ash, returning to the earth for the sake of Christ. For the sake of souls we were bound, ambushed while in adoration. All 63 for the sake of Christ, a pyre sending smoke to heaven, burning for the sake of Christ at the hand of evil. And I believe that all of these people who are trying to push their religious conviction on me are no more than the hand of evil. You're pompous and arrogant. Yeah, and I have no desire or need for any of you.